Hello dear friends and subscribers, welcome to the Cricket Happening Show with your host Ram today. And in this Cricket Happening Show, well, it's all going to be a report on the second and final One-Day International which was played between Pakistan and New Zealand. And let me tell you, New Zealand actually won the series 2-0 as they blanked Pakistan by 119 runs at McLean Park in Napier. It all started with New Zealand actually winning the toss and decidedly electing to bat first. Well, they started off with Martin Guptill, Brendan McCullum, and the good thing was that there was a quiet start. Mohammad Irfan was bowling well, and Martin Guptill and Brendan McCullum were a bit watchful. But once I thought two or three overs were over, suddenly New Zealand started their run making there. Brendan McCullum was the one who started it by creaming. Bilawal Bhatti was absolutely caned by Brendan McCullum and Guptill as Bilawal Bhatti continued to leak runs. He had figures of 2 overs and 20 runs, and that went on. And Bilawal Bhatti, in fact, when the match ended, when New Zealand won, Bilawal Bhatti now, along with Wahab Riaz of Pakistan, holds the record for the most number of runs conceded by a single bowler as far as Pakistan are concerned. In fact, Bilawal Bhatti would definitely like to forget this match, as in 10 overs he leaked 93 runs, which was pretty bad. Just talking about telling you the story of how New Zealand played. So Martin Guptill and Brendan McCullum were doing well, and then it was Misbah-ul-Haq, the Pakistan captain, had to rush in Shahid Afridi into the attack to control the run flow, as 43 runs were scored in 7.5 overs. But Shahid Afridi, well, he had the better of McCullum. McCullum had made 31 of 27 balls with 5 fours and 1 6, and Shahid Afridi provided the breakthrough when he had Brendan McCullum trying to hit him. Was clean bowled by Shahid Afridi for 31. That was the first wicket to go. The New Zealand scored at 43 for 1 in 7.5 overs. Martin Guptill at the other end was really growing in confidence. He was showing his full range of strokes. As you know, he normally hits straight down the ground very well, especially his favorite strokes are in the long off and long on region. So that was definitely coming into the picture, and Martin Guptill was joined in by Kane Williamson, and both of them started really frustrating the Pakistani bowlers by really getting into a very good partnership, where Martin Guptill was really showing his range of strokes. And it was very good to see that Martin Guptill, just before the World Cup, has hit some real good form. And the partnership on the other end, Kane Williamson was, Kane Williamson, in fact, he was playing his first match because he missed the first one day, as you would remember. He came in and he really, the amount of, Kane Williamson, when he plays, he shows a lot of application and dedication, and he's a very classy player. And for Kane Williamson, let me tell you, he can put no foot wrong, because as I said, he's the person to watch out for in this World Cup 2015, as he has been scoring tons of runs. According to me, Kane Williamson of New Zealand and South Africa's Hashim Amla have been really scoring tons of runs in one-day internationals. And Kane Williamson once again showed what a wonderful player he is for New Zealand, as he and Guptill started blunting the Pakistani bowling attack. Nothing was having any effect on them. Kane Williamson was really making batting look pretty easy. At the other end, Martin Guptill was also playing some good strokes, and the partnership was really blossoming as the score went on to 171, where they really set up a solid base for New Zealand to go on to a huge total. And in the end, that was the case, as Martin Guptill and Kane Williamson put on a 127-run partnership. But when the score reached 171, Guptill probably he was trying to loft. Ahmed Shahzad was a part-time bowler, because there was no wickets which were really forthcoming. Misbah-ul-Haq was trying and Bilawal Bhatti was actually leaking a lot of runs. So Ahmed Shahzad was pushed in. In fact, Yunus Khan also bowled, but he was just trying to see whether they can get some wickets, and he was trying to actually get some overs, because Aris Sohail, the left-arm spinner, unfortunately was pretty costly today. So he had to go to the services of Yunus Khan, who bowled 2 overs for 17 runs, and Ahmed Shahzad, who bowled 4 overs for 29 runs with 1 wicket. And so, Ahmed Shahzad bowled some leggies, and Ahmed Shahzad, the part-time bowler, was bowling a ranked full toss to Martin Guptill, and Martin Guptill was taking it on the full and trying to dispatch it over the ropes. But to his utter chagrin, Martin Guptill was caught at the fence by Bilawal Bhatti, and Ahmed Shahzad got his second one-day international wicket in his career. And Martin Guptill, one good thing for New Zealand that has happened is Martin Guptill has definitely hit form just before the World Cup. What a timely coming of form for Martin Guptill, as he made 76 good runs of 88 deliveries with 8 fours and 1 six. And as I said, Martin Guptill and Kane Williamson really laid a solid base, and that enabled Ross Taylor to really have the luxury of playing in his own inimitable way, as he and Williamson once again started the bleeding of runs started. As as I said, in 27.2 overs, the score was 171 for 2. And look at this partnership that Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor put. It was something. The runs were absolutely bleeding, as it was a partnership which yielded 81 runs, 81, and that was a partnership which was, as I said, New Zealand innings at 171 for 2 when Guptill departed. As I said, they had actually set up a very solid base, and I thought it was the right thing to do. Both Ross Taylor and Kane Williamson decided to attack the Pakistani bowlers, and it was a real counter-attack as runs were flowing from the bat of both Kane Williamson, the settled Williamson, and Ross Taylor. And Ross Taylor, well, we definitely saw all his pull shots coming into the picture, his slog sweeps, the way he used to put the ball over the mid-wicket region by taking it from the off stump and hitting it over the mid-wicket region. And both of them were really galloping, and the score was also really going at a really good clip, as 81 runs were added in just, I would say, probably 12 overs. In 12 overs, they added 81 runs. What an exhilarating partnership that was. And finally, while the partnership was going, we saw Kane Williamson reach his century. And centuries has become a sort of a habit for Kane Williamson in one-day internationals nowadays. And well, he went on to score a century, and then finally, when the partnership had the score had reached 250, the 81 run entertaining third wicket stand ended for New Zealand when Mohammad Irfan finally had the wicket of Kane Williamson, as Kane Williamson was caught Ari Sohail of the bowling of Mohammad Irfan for 112 of 88 balls with 14 fours and 1 6. And at that time, Grant Elliott walked in. Well, Grant Elliott also, as I said, Grant Elliott came in, and he also slammed 2 sixes in a knock of 28 of 21 balls, and well, the score was at 322 for 4, as he was a victim of the bowling of Ehsan Adil. Luke Ronchi couldn't do much. He was out for a blob as Mohammad Irfan took his wicket as he was caught behind. And then finally, it all came down to the final. It was very interesting to see whether Ross Taylor could get to a century, because he was into his 90s. And what a wonderful way for Ross Taylor to get to his century. He really went aerial. In fact, in the last over, he went on to hit, I thought it was bowled by Mohammad Irfan, as he went on to hit a 6 first to move to 98, I suppose. And then he hit a boundary. In fact, he took the penultimate ball and the final ball of the final over to slam a 6 and a 4 to finally get on to a century, as Ross Taylor was unconquered on a very good 102 runs of 70 deliveries with 13 fours and 2 sixes. Nathan McLem was not out on 9 of 5 balls with 1 6, and New Zealand had gone on to a mountainous total of 369 for 5 of their 50 overs. The bowling, Mohammad Irfan, I thought he bowled well, 2 for 52 for him. Bilawal Bhatti is something I was just wondering why Misbah ul Haq actually kept giving the ball to Bilawal Bhatti, because Bilawal Bhatti, as I said, now has become the joint record holder for the most runs conceded by a Pakistani bowler in one-day internationals, as he now joins Wahab Riaz to have conceded 93 runs of the quota of 10 overs. So Bilawal Bhatti, very costly. 10 overs for 93 runs. runs were simply bleeding when Bilawal Bhatti was bowling. And Shahid Afridi, well, the other day I thought he bowled well, but today Shahid Afridi was also clattered by the New Zealand batsman. 10 overs no maiden, 1 for 57. Ehsan Adil 8 overs, 1 for 68. He also got some real punishment from the New Zealand batsman, 1 for 68. No one was spared, I would say. Haris Sohail, 6 overs of 47 runs, prompting Misbah-ul Haq to go to his part-time bowlers like Yunus Khan and Ahmed Shahzad to fill in. 2 overs for 17 for Yunus Khan and Ahmed Shahzad. 4 overs no maiden, 1 for 29. So chasing a mountainous total, already under pressure of having lost the first one-day international, Pakistan were under severe pressure. But the good thing for Pakistan was that they got a wonderful partnership going. In fact, chasing this particular total, they definitely needed a very good opening stand, and that came in the form of Pakistani openers Mohammad Hafiz and Ahmed Shahzad. Mohammad Hafiz in particular was looking good, but Ahmed Shahzad was the one who was the aggressor, was scoring runs at a really good clip, and both of them in 20.3 overs got the 100 for Pakistan. They had 111 on the board at that time, and looking at the run rate that they were keeping, well, even though they had to get a run rate of 7.38 runs per over, I thought at least they were building up towards that by getting 111 runs for the first wicket. Mohammad Hafiz playing some characteristically very, very good strokes. Ahmed Shahzad was really, I mean, he is such an aggressive player, and he was also playing, he was showing his full range of strokes, and there was nothing was, I mean, no bowler were able to make any impression, and the partnership was really going on in a very serene manner. But at that time, the breakthrough was provided when Nathan McCullum took the wicket of Ahmed Shahzad, but Ahmed Shahzad was caught by men in the deep of the bowling of Nathan McCullum for 55 of 62 balls with 8 fours. That was 111 for 1, and then after that it was Yunus Khan who came in. Yunus Khan continued to falter in this one-day series, as Yunus Khan was also a victim of the bowling of Nathan McCullum, caught by Saudi of the bowling of McCullum for 11 of 14 balls with 1-4, and then Mohammad Hafiz, who was playing in a very, very settled manner, got some good, I would say, he got some good company from the Pakistani captain Misbah-ul Haq, and both of them pushed on the score from 130 to 173. So 43 runs were added, with Misbah-ul Haq trying to be a bit steady with his batting, but Mohammad Hafiz was the one who was doing all the scoring. But then Mohammad Hafiz, after doing all the hard work of having scored 86 valuable runs of 89 balls with 5 fours and 3 sixes, was a goner, as Grant Elliott picked up his wicket as he was caught by men, and that was the time. And after that, from that time on, the innings totally collapsed. From 173 for 3 when Mohammad Hafiz departed in the 31st over, they had 20 more overs to go. There was still some batting left, and that was the time Misbah-ul Haq had Shahid Afridi promoted in the batting order, so he came ahead of Umar Akmal and he was promoted in the batting order. But today Shahid Afridi could not really come up with his fireworks when it was direly needed, as Daniel Vettori, with all his experience, plucked up the wicket of Shahid Afridi, who was caught by Elliott of the bowling of Vettori for 11 of 9 balls with 1-4. Umar Akmal also came in. Misbah-ul Haq at the other end was still there, watching it all happen at the other end, and it was a total collapse on the part of Pakistan, because from 173 they were all out for 250. So basically they could only muster 77 runs with the last 7 wickets that had, and it was a total collapse for them, as Shahid Afridi, promoted in the batting order, failed. Umar Akmal could contribute only 4, as he had his stumps clattered by Adam Min for 4 of 2 balls with 1-4. Haris Sohail this time couldn't do much. He was out cheaply for 6 for the bowling of Adam Min, and once that was over, the pressure was definitely increasing, but Sarfraz Ahmed was there, so hope was still there with Misbah-ul Haq still at the crease. But Sarfraz Ahmed, normally a very reliable player, yesterday couldn't contribute much, as he was out to the bowling of Grant Elliott for 13 of 12 balls with 1-4, and then Bilawal Bhatti, who already had a very poor day with the ball, now was probably trying to see to it whether he can make it up with his batting. One was probably thinking that Bilawal Bhatti will make up for his poor bowling with his batting, if Misbah ul Haq still there. As you know, Bilal Bhatti is an all-rounder, but Bilal Bhatti also couldn't do much, as he was a victim of the bowling of Tim Saudi for 9 of 11 balls with 1-4, and now it was left to Misbah ul Haq to do something about it. And for Misbah ul Haq, it was proving pretty tough, with only tailenders for company, and then Misbah ul Haq had no other choice but to hit out, and by doing so, Misbah ul Haq was caught by Taylor of the bowling of Saudi for 45 of 51 balls with 2 4s and 1 6, and the problem happened to be that Misbah ul Haq couldn't get any support from the other Pakistani batsmen on the middle order and the lower middle order, and the Pakistan innings totally collapsed to being 250 all out, and thus lost the match by 119 runs. Thus New Zealand winning the series 2-0, and Hassan Adil was out for 1 of the bowling of Bolt. Mohammad Irfan was not out on not. 250 all out Pakistan, with New Zealand winning the second one-day international by 119 runs, and thus taking the 2-match one-day series 2-0. As far as the bowling was concerned, Tim Saudi 8 overs no maiden 2 for 52. Trent bowled 8.1 overs no maiden 1 for 35. I thought he was the best of the bowlers there. Daniel Vettori did his job perfectly. Also picked up the most important wicket of Shahid Afridi, 1 for 41 for him. Adam Min 8 overs. I thought he received a bit of a tap. Leaked away 52 runs, but took 2 wickets. Nathan McCullum bowled 5 overs, which went for 33 runs and 2 wickets. Grant Elliott 4 overs cost him 35 runs for 2 wickets. And Kane Williamson was named the man of the match for his wonderful century. Well, dear fans, subscribers, I think that really brings an end. So New Zealand, as I said, Pakistan, as I said, touring New Zealand, played 2 one-day internationals and lost both the one-day internationals. So that is not something that is good on the part of Pakistan, especially considering the World Cup is around the corner. But anyways, that is how it is. So New Zealand actually wrapping up the series 2-0, and I'm sure New Zealand would be absolutely buoyed up by the fact that after defeating Sri Lanka, now they also defeated Pakistan. So that would give them more and more confidence, as they are also the hosts for the World Cup 2015. Well, dear fans and subscribers, that's it for the present as far as cricket is concerned. Tomorrow I'll be seeing you all, dear fans and subscribers, when I do my next cricket show. Until then, it's good night from your host Ram Studios. Thank you.